Hello, good morning, or I guess it's not morning now, it's lunchtime. So happy lunchtime. I'm so excited for y'all to jump on. I cannot wait to hear from these ladies and learn from these ladies and just really run into the weekend on this fabulous Friday with some great tips and takeaways. I think everyone in here went to a breakout session. If not, they've got takeaways from the main stage and just the weekend in general. So, with that being said, oh, and by the way, when you share, I would love for you one say your name. How is this your first Palooza, your seventh Palooza, whatever? And then also, I think some of you have just hit a bonus, so let us celebrate you on that. So yeah, tell us, hey, I came back from Palooza and woo, look what happened. Okay, so I'm just gonna kick it off with Sue then. Sue, all the things. It was so great to meet you and your baby and your daughter, and it's such a blast. Okay, so yeah, just kind of kick us off with that.
Yeah, so I am Sue Yin. You can call me either one. I just earned the 12K rank advancement bonus. I've been here for a year in June. So I'm so pumped about that. You know, when I got back from Palooza, a few people started joining my team and messaging me about the opportunity. I was posting very opportunity heavy at the Palooza, obviously, you know, sharing our team, our culture, all of that. And so I guess it just looked very appealing, and a few people jumped in, and that boosted the volume, and we earned that bonus. So I'm so thankful for that. But this Palooza was so special to me. It was my first one with this team. I'm actually somebody that's been here for 6 years, but I walked away and got distracted for 6 months, and then I came back with Katie Months, and I'm so thankful. It was the best decision ever. I can't describe this culture and how different it is than other teams that I've experienced. And so that was one of my takeaways, was that truly your leadership matters. And we are in a position where we're on a team that's a loving, forgiving, accepting, united team. And that is so important. And I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know all the leaders yet. But all I know is that being in that place, I could feel the sense of everybody being together. And that matters. When we cheer each other on, I've never been a part of something where in the chat, I'm not scared to post. I'm not worried about opinions of others. You know, we celebrate each other's wins. And I'm not scared to get in the chat and be like, guys, I just enrolled a customer. I don't think people are going to be jealous. I think they're going to cheer me on, because they do. And so our culture matters, and our team here is so special. So I just want to point that out. Another takeaway I had was I was sitting there watching the millionaires and the 200Ks on stage, and I finally had that moment of like, I will be a millionaire mama. And that might sound silly, but because I've always wanted to be, you know, a top leader. I've always wanted to go for it. I was never someone that was like, oh, I just want to thrive for free, because that's some people's goal. And some people are okay with that. And that's awesome. And that's totally fine. Everyone has different goals. I always wanted to be a top leader, but I never really saw myself as a millionaire mom. And so when I watched those millionaire moms on stage, and some of them I've been watching their journey for, you know, 6 years that I've been here, I thought, I am a millionaire mom. And I'm sorry about the noise in the back. So I have 13 dogs here. I have 6 children, and I'm babysitting a 7th child. My life is extremely busy and chaotic. As you can imagine, life is much busier as a stay-at-home mom than it was when I was working. So honestly, I had to bring my exclusively breastfed child to conference because he will not eat anything other than my milk. So that was extremely challenging, because I also had to bring my teenager to babysit him. And when I say there's no excuses here, there's no excuses. I will never use my children as a reason for me not to promote this business, because they deserve a better life. Okay. Hey, come here, bud.
Well, and I'm just going to chime in while
Over
you're
to me.
do what?
Can you swing back over to me?
Yes, I will do that. We'll come back. But I want to add into what she's saying is, you know, we've said forever, your why cannot be your excuse. And that is exactly what she's living that. Like, you know, we have seen people literally build this business, traveling to locals, going to events, getting new promoters with their babies on their hips, walking, you know, doing phone calls with a baby on the hip, pulling the phone, pulling the hair. Like, your why cannot be your excuse. And I feel like these ladies all completely just the is it emulate? Is that the right word? Like that is they're showing up, they're doing the do, right? Okay. Chanel, we'll just kick on over to you. We're gonna you've already spoke in this past series, but you wanted to talk about breakout session this time, I think, right? So kind of just bring back that.
Thanks, Amber. I love you. Actually, I got really, it seems like every Palooza I get closer to leaders like you who, when you're new in this business, you're like, oh my gosh, I could never walk up to that person. But like for the second time, and like I felt like the first time because you guys hyped it up so much, but I like walk up to Jason Camper and I'm like, did my little spiel and he's like, I know who you are. And I'm like, you do. And so I was like, it's probably because I showed something naughty on Instagram, right? Like, because I'm just me. Guys, I am Chanel Cooksey. I have been with Lavelle since March of 2019. Came in just, I watched for a couple years. My upline's no longer here, thank God, because she was toxic. That's a blessing in disguise. But I don't choke on your water, Amber. So I came into this business. I watched my upline for a couple years. Um, and so I had just come off of a C-section. I am a surrogate, so I incorporate surrogacy into my Thrive business. But it started with surrogacy, and then I, got into Thrive. And it started with me being on maternity leave. I have two small children, and I was just like, oh, this maternity leave feels great, like being home with my kids. Like I wanted that taste of more. So when I joined the business, I jumped in. I earned 12K within 28 days. I have now been with Lavelle for 5 years, and the first couple weeks coming into this, I quit my 9 to 5 that I was at for almost 5 years. I've never looked back. I've had my hardships, I've had my ups and my downs. I've had times where I've said, I think I just want to be done. And that was because of other people's toxicity. And when you have those times, you just really need to lean into who supports you, who wants to cheer you on, not into that negativity or that thinking of the grass is greener, because the grass is not greener. It's where you water it, and you'll hear that a ton. So coming into this Palooza, I think besides because COVID happened, we didn't get a Palooza, unfortunately. So I think being here now, it's my fourth Palooza, but every single one, it seems you walk away with something different. That's why I always try to attend, because there's just something that you hear from different people that just resonates. And let me freaking tell you, when I left this one, I felt like $1,000,000. I'm like, you're an 80K leader. You've been through some shit. Excuse me. I'm like Courtney Glacier. That's just me. So I'm real. I'm raw. I have had my times where I've shown up with a filter or a full face of makeup, but best way to be a leader is to just lead with you. And when I went into these breakout sessions, it was hard to attend every single one. I wanted to, but it wasn't possible. So I tried to pick out what kind of just spoke to me, right? And apart from the community of everybody being there and celebrating each other, there was with this session that we went into with, I can't forget her last name. I think it's Jara something. Amber, you help me out with that.
Jara Bean.
Jara Bean. And I loved her, just her attitude and like how she ran things. And the biggest thing, because again, you walk out of every single one with like your soul on fire. The one with Jara it was about the secret sauce, and that secret sauce is you. Like when you come into this business, you get this like, oh, I have to be perfect. I have to do this, this, and this, but it's really not, because when people want to join this business, they don't want to join the person who's making all the perfect graphics or having all of this, and they don't see themselves within that person. They want to see, hey, the kids are screaming in the background, but she's still running her business. Hey, she's wearing pajamas all day long because she's just doing the thing, and she's not ashamed about it. Like she's on here, she's got no makeup on, the kids are screaming. Heck, for me, I jump on my stories and my lives with a needle sticking out my rear end. Why? Because that's life for me. As a surrogate, I have to do needles, I have to do kids, I'm a wife. And I run surrogacy as like a second, I guess you call it a second business, but I do it for other people. And so coming into Thrive, it really served me. Now, with Jara's training for the secret sauce is that just all these changes of life. Like she had gone from like doing this to social media coach, but she showed those stages of life to her followers, and those followers would reach out to her she had never met, who had never spoken to, and said, I feel like I know you because you show me genuinely who you are through social media and your talks and the meetings. Like if she has like a local or something, people will go to that and be like, I just feel like I know who you are. I've never met you. It's because you show your secret sauce every single day. You show at the times where your face, like she does this thing where every birthday, she'll do a photo where she's crying with the birthday cake, and it was so funny. But she shows her hardships, okay? And you shouldn't be embarrassed by those, whether you've had cancer, you've had, a loss of a husband, you've been divorced, the loss and the gains. People need to see those, because when someone wants to join you, it's because you've shown them that other side of social media that we don't all show because we're embarrassed or we're afraid of people's judgment. Nobody has the right to judge you until they walk in your shoes and say, oh, well, yeah, I don't have the right to judge her. We have all different aspects of life, and we've all been through our SHIT. So with Jared's secret sauce, it was really important to me because sometimes I am, we're not always confident in ourselves, right? We pick at ourselves, or we're really bad about that as women, and even men do it too. Even that panel, I did attend the panel with the men speakers because my husband has kind of dipped his toe in here and there into Thrive. I kind of run his business for him, but he's had some struggles with health issues wise. But I was just like, how do I kind of like get into here and like take some things from the guys? And I actually even pulled one of those speakers aside at the VIP party, which was my first year of attending. Thank you. It is worth it to invest in yourself in every single way. And that VIP ticket for me was like, okay, I usually buy the general, but this year I'm going to invest in me and I'm going to buy that VIP ticket. And I just was spoiled and loved and got to meet all these millionaires and different leaders that we see on Zooms all the time, including got to spend more time with Amber. And she's wild, that footloose girl. Oh, got to
It was
get
the
a closer look
creatine.
at
It was the creatine.
it was a creatine that we got free alcohol. But I got to pull one of those guys aside and just really thank him for sharing his story, because he had been through another network marketing company and had saw that after one. Here's the thing, I can't remember her name, but she had recently passed within the last year. She was very big. And she was the kind of the glue of her inspiration, her hearts, her secret sauce that kept those people there at that company. And then when she passed away, God rest her soul, when she was gone, that glue was no longer there. The person that wanted to inspire everybody and talk the talk, whether the product worked or it didn't, like she was that glue that held everybody together because she was there to support other people. Jessie Lee, there we go. She was there to support everybody. Once that beautiful soul was gone, everybody left that company. It was no longer being held together. They saw the real things, what was going on. If you can inspire somebody like that, and that this product does work and this company does do everything that they can. Like I've been part of a couple network marketing companies. Nobody does it like Lavelle does. I'm freaking serious. Like ask me, I will tell you, but nobody does it like Lavelle. And we have all the things that people need. We have the community. We have the product that you can feel, whether it's the 3 steps or balance or the HGS. The HGS saved my life personally. It's that we have all of this here, and to have these events, I'm telling you right now, every single day, put a couple dollars aside, put an envelope that says Thrive Palooza, and you get your ass there. You get into all those rooms and you get yourself fired up. I promise you, you'll be walking out of that building saying, I'm going to be a 200K leader. I'm going to be up on that stage. I actually was supposed to be on the stage, but I didn't know that I was a 6-figure earner just because I'm so into my team and the things. Money is great, but money comes and goes. To me, it's the community and the product and being able to be a better leader, even though I've had my faults. I've had my doubts upon myself. I've had my ups and downs, but I want to strive to be better. And that's what I walked out of Palooza learning is the secret sauce is me. for me, for my business, the secret sauce for your business is you, whether it's to get a kid on your hip or you have no makeup on or you're wearing pajamas. Heck, I'm not wearing a bra right now. I could give twos. So go to Palooza, put that money aside, invest in you, and like Sue, take your child. Like there's nothing that can unstop you from the tracks that you want to lead to a better life and being you with that secret sauce. So yeah, I'm gonna actually try to upload something on the team pages of Jara's training because I recorded
Oh my
everything
gosh.
on
I love
Thrive
it.
Palooza, the men's training, her, and yeah, it was an incredible weekend. You need to get there next year. Please do mark
Absolutely.
my words.
Yes. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love you. Okay. So here's the thing. Start saving. Every single person has said this over these last things. Start saving for next year. Don't wait till next month or, next January. Start saving now because then it won't be an excuse if you're prepared. Being prepared means starting now, right? I will say also if they do the Thrive, I don't remember what they were called, that they were showing up in different cities over the summer. If they do those again, get to those as well, because those were great training in between here in Palooza, right? So be on the lookout for that. Okay, we're jumping right on over to Janelle. Yes, girl. I love her so much. Okay. So yes, please tell us. I know you went to a lot of the sessions and y'all kind of split up and all the things.
Mhm.
So yeah, what Palooza was it for you? Who are you? All the things.
So, well, hello. I'm Janelle Spellman. I was sitting here thinking, I don't know, I think this was either 5 or 6 for me. So somewhere in there. So I've been to a few of them before. And like Chanel was saying, like I've been to other companies, like events like this, and Lavelle is by far the best. Like I mean, you know what? It's just fun. It's just really, really fun. So that you can go to a conference and get so much good training and all that stuff and have fun. I feel like that's a win. But one of the reasons I love to go to Palooza, so we're out here in Colorado, and I feel like we're kind of far away from a lot of the people, is to be there and just that relationship building. So whether that's with my upline, which is Amber and Jason, or with my downline that goes with me, it's so much fun just to get to spend time and just have that togetherness and just live a little bit of life and kind of like have a vacation with friends. So that's super fun. For me, like this business is so much the the mindset. Like building this business is, we have to keep our mindset in check. And so to go to Palooza, it's like a bath for my brain because it's really easy to get sucked into all the just the negative, or people give you like negative feedback or whatever. But when you get to Palooza, it's just like, okay, cool. Big reset. Like the speakers are top notch. Charles Clark was one of my favorites. He was in one of the breakout sessions and he just started it out by saying, like, how did I end up here? Like in my life, like asking each of us that, right? Like, this isn't where I thought I was going to be. So, how did we get here? But also like working through that process, accept the process was one of the things he said, because 85% of success is due to our mindset. So, like I said, it was just such a huge, huge thing to hear all of the speakers. They were just really, really good. Travis Mills on the main stage. Oh my gosh, that guy, like he was crazy. If you don't know who he is, like go look him up on Instagram or whatever. Like he was so amazing. He's a quadruple amputee. He was in the military, and just his like to have humor and grace about the horrific things that he's been through. He was so like just grateful to be alive, and like that he gets to like go and share that with other people. Like, whew, it was just really, really powerful. I should have brought more tissues with me to that, but it was so good. So yeah, just the training was absolutely spot on. And then just the technical things too, like going to Jara Bean's class, she gave like all the things that Chanel was talking about, but then she gave practical steps, practical things that we can do. And, oh gosh, just as we build our businesses, and yeah, the secret sauce, it's all about us, like being you and what did she say? Sharing that is the catalyst to connection, like sharing you and not pretending to be somebody else. I will never be Amber. I will never be Maria. I will never be any of these other amazing ladies. I am like the, weirdo over here with the short purple hair that apparently sticks straight up in humidity. That was a little crazy for me, but yeah, like just being you, like that's your personal brand. So, and sharing that intentionally. So, but yeah, and that, just heading into this Palooza felt a little bit different for me as well. I was, a lot of times I go just for me, or I'm, looking for something to motivate me. But this time I headed in with like my business in mind. So, because it's growing and things are happening. Finally, it doesn't matter if it's taking you 7 years to get to where I am. I mean, because I've been here for a minute and I'm not the rank I want to be, but it doesn't matter. So this time I headed into it with that mindset of, okay, this is the time I'm going to grow my business. So, but yeah, just really, it's so good. It's so worth it. Like everybody said so far, start just a couple dollars a day. So I'm setting that aside. So that's what I got. It
Oh
was
my
good.
gosh, I love it. Thank you so much. I wanted to, this came to my mind coming back to Chanel, like when she was talking about Jessie Lee Ward, and that I guess people after she had passed and saying, well, she was the glue that held everything together. So, but looking at our company and looking at our product works, our company is a strong foundation. So if there is not a one person that holds it all together, so if something were to happen or someone were to just leave, we're still able to stay here without feeling like everything's falling apart. So I just want to touch on that. And so okay, Monique, hello. Okay, so I have to share because this is funny. So I was with Monique and Katie's, they had a group of leaders of theirs at the at an Airbnb, and it all come in a day early. So I got to hang out with them, and we were at lunch, and Monique and I ordered what we thought was a normal drink, and it was like a gallon. Like it was like, yeah, it was bigger
It
than
was
this.
like bigger than our head.
It was so bad. We both looked at each other like, what the heck? But these ladies that I was chatting with that were locals and all that, and they were like, oh, is that your daughter? And I was like, no, like, because I'm sitting at this table thinking that I feel like we're all the same, right? Like, it didn't matter rank, it didn't matter income, it didn't matter anything. I don't know what that is, Chanel, and no, they did not. But we like, I felt like, like we're all part of the same, right? And then as we're talking, and she said something about, well, they're not 30 yet. And I'm like, well, how the heck old are you? And so she's so cute. She's 25. And I'm like, so do the math. She could be my daughter. And but that's what I love about this community and this business is the same. Like nobody treated me like I'm almost 49, nobody treated me any differently, and I didn't treat them any differently. Didn't care. I don't know what rank they are. And then here we go, like I said, everybody's coming in now after I leave, hitting all these rank bonuses. And so, or after we leave Palooza, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I just related that so much to how we are here in this business and not prejudging age, rank, income, whatever, right? Okay, Monique, share your name, share how long you've been with Lavelle, and how many Paloozas this was for you.
Okay, I actually have to add two. The Friday night party, Amber's husband walked up and I was just like, she was dancing away and I was like, aren't you just like the luckiest man in the world? And he just looked at me straight face. Are you the one that's my daughter? And I was like, okay, so you heard about that story. Okay, so my name
Like
is
these ladies just asked, is that your daughter? And I was like, what the heck? And so it became like the joke of the weekend.
That's great. Yeah, it was hilarious. Okay, so goodness, I thought my story was going to be like completely opposite from what I've heard today, and I'm glad it's kind of all on the same page. So my name's Monique. I am 25 years old. And this was my second Palooza, but it's been my fourth trip with Thrive. We've done like team retreats and stuff. And let me just tell you, Amber, if I don't shut up, you can tell me like, hey, we got to get going. You got to be quiet because I have a really freaking crazy story. And I've just been through it. Like I have been in the industry for 5 years with Thrive for 4. And I joined and I went for it and I was doing great. And then life hit and my grandpa had passed away. I have 2 kids. One is a 6-year-old in school and in sports. He wants every single sport you could possibly imagine. And I also have a 2-year-old who had a birth diagnosis of Down syndrome. And so appointments and therapies and all of the things. And then I became a single mom last summer. So it was just like life hit. I had to go out and get a part-time job, all of the things. I took a step back from Thrive. And I remember last Palooza, I was there and like I had a blast, but like I just wasn't like mentally there. I was just not having a like I was going through a lot and it was just like I was there just to be there, just to say I went, just to be with the ladies, like and it was hard. And I remember like sitting there looking up at the stage and just being like, I don't belong here. Like I cannot picture myself walking on that stage. I can't picture myself getting an award. I can't picture myself 200K. Like I don't deserve this. My life is shit. Like crazy. And it was just really hard. And even the 2 team retreats that I earned with Katie, we went to Canada and to Texas and I was just like there and I was just like, I love the community and I love the sisterhood and the friendships and everything. And that's what has kept me around. But I was just like mentally like, I don't deserve any of this. And this year being at Palooza, it was just like so eye-opening. It was just like everyone up on that stage has been through something and they've all had life knock them down. They've all been like at the lowest points. And the only difference is like they didn't let any of this stop them. So that's like my main take. Like I went to the trainings and I've talked to so many people and our new products and the compensation plan and all of it is great. But like life doesn't care who you are. Life doesn't care how much money you make or what your rank is. Like sometimes life just happens and it sucks. And the only thing is like we have to turn our pain into our purpose. And so as much as I was just like, oh, I'm too busy. My son is in school 35-40 minutes away from where we live and he has sports and I have a part-time job now and my baby has Down syndrome and all of these appointments and therapies and blah 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 and I can't do it. But like that's my reason to do it. That's my reason. My one goal is just to like not have to go to my part-time job right now because my kids deserve their mom. Like I should like to be able to take my son to his appointments and practices and games and all of the things. We got to turn like that pain and like what's supposed to knock us down into something to keep us going and to give us the energy to do it. And not only that, but like we also have products to allow us to be that mom that our kids deserve. And so that was my main takeaway. I know I don't want to keep you guys long, but I just like it's not even about the trainings, the compensation plan, the products, nothing that was launched. Mine was just like number one, the community. Like I'm telling you, if the community, I was with a company before and I went to their conference and I'm not gonna say it, I'm gonna be a little more pulled back than Chanel was, but it was just not the same. Like with Thrive, you feel that like people don't care what your rank is. They don't care where you're from. They don't care about these things. You are loved here. Like they make you feel loved and they know like that you are important no matter where you're coming from or what your rank is. Even if you're just thriving for free or if you're a millionaire, you feel the same with these leaders around here. And so like after that conference, I just like it felt weird. Like I just felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I didn't feel comfortable when we were at that conference. And the first the team retreat that I had first earned when my son was like 4 months old and just got out of the NICU and I got to meet so many amazing women. I was like, I felt like I was home. Like I knew that I loved everybody I had met. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And then conference in Denver rolled around and I was like, I want to go see my girls. I don't care what rank I am. I don't care if I have the money for this. Last year, I did not have the money for it. And then our Canada retreat came around and I was like, you know what? I'm earning that because of just the friendships and the sisterhood and being able to like have our cups poured into as well, just with the community. And now this time I was actually not with Thrive. I had taken a step back here for a couple months, but I had already bought my Palooza ticket like when it first went out before I took a step back. And I had messaged Katie and I was like, I have my ticket, I'm going. And she was like, you're not even you're not even promoting. And I was like, I don't care. I want to see you. I'm going. So like the friendships here have honestly like kept me, and just going to Palooza and like looking up on that stage and just knowing that like everybody up on that stage, they're not better than than all of us, than any of us. Like they have all had life hit them. They've all had bad things. They've dealt with, you know, losing family members, grief, being single, being homeless. Somebody like even had a story about being homeless and like hitting rock bottom. And like we are all the same with that. Like this should be our fire to like just keep going and like get to any event.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I'm so glad that I got to meet you and have that time with you. I love really having that time with everybody in the house. That was so great. Okay, so Christina, we're gonna jump right on over to you. And guys, I did write down when Monique said turn your pain into your purpose. And I love that. And I really take that right up with if y'all heard me last night, I talked about how Travis Mills, when he said that you're yes, my daughter, but that when he said don't ever compare your heart, because for me, like I literally like that, I grew up with that mentality really being, you know, just bored into me that be grateful for where you're at. Don't, oh well, at least, you know, at least you this and at least you that. And you know, if I had a hard situation, well, it's not as bad as so and so, and it's not as bad as so and so, and you know, your kid wasn't diagnosed with this, and you didn't have a miscarriage, and you didn't this, and you didn't that. So I'm like, okay, I'll be grateful and suck it up, buttercup, and keep all my trauma to myself, you know, like that. So when he said never compare your heart, because your heart is your heart. And Chastity Marie had said that before, because then of course, you know, because she and I've known each other for over 30 years. And so when she lost her husband and she became a widow, I immediately was like, well, I can't talk about how when my husband annoys me because at least I have a husband, you know, and things. She's like, no, like we're still, you know what I'm saying? So for him to then say the same thing, like, my heart is not your heart and never compare your heart. And so I just really took that away. And then, like she said, turn your pain to your purpose. So, okay, Christina. Okay, wait, her car went away. Where did I saw her sitting in this passenger seat and now I don't see her. Christina, where did you go? Oh, you're muted. I think that's her husband. Hi. You may have to unmute. I don't He doesn't know how to unmute. Okay, Sue, finish yours, and Christina, just pop in, raise your hand, tell us when you're ready. Okay, Sue, go back ahead. Oh, there's Christina. Oh, can you not unmute? Oh,
There I am here.
okay, Sue, we'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay. Hi. Sorry,
Okay.
we literally just got home, and I had to go pee, and I was like, maybe I should just sneak on out there and go to the bathroom real quick before I get started.
Your husband's like, she's going pee.
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
like
yes,
waving,
yeah.
and I'm like, we can't hear you. Push the button. He's like, I don't know how to do that. Okay.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes. Oh, so my husband said she's going pee. Okay. I was
well,
like,
no, we don't know what
oh,
he
no.
said. We don't know what he said. He was just like, she.
Oh, okay. So anyways, I did write some notes because that's just the way that I am. But yeah, so everything that everybody said, it was totally resonates with me. I totally feel the same way. I loved it. One thing I want to point out is that I'm Christina. This was my second Palooza, and I've been with Thrive for about 1.5 years now. And it's been, last year was great, and then this year I think was just even better because I kind of knew what to expect. And one thing I really took away is confidence within myself, because I really think that Palooza was just about, are you there? Sorry. I really think that Palooza was just about, am I still on? Okay. I really think it was about me, like when I went there, I thought, oh, this is about me, like they're pouring into me. And I really got the sense that everybody else was being poured into as well. And it was really nice. I'm not hearing anybody. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be or
Christina,
work.
I think everybody's muted. Go ahead and just keep
Oh,
telling your
yes.
story.
oh,
You're good.
okay. Sorry.
You're
I've
good.
never
Sorry,
done
I
this
was,
before.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I've never done this before, so I'm just like, oh no, did I hit something? So yeah, so I just really, when I went there, I was like, I have, what I do for work is nuclear medicine, but I've been in radiology for about 24 years. So I've spent a lot of time, like my daily job is pretty much going to the hospital and coming home. Now I only work 4 days a week, but the thing is that when, I can't remember who mentioned it, but they were like, pour into yourself, like take care of yourself, give it, give to yourself so that you can give to others. And that really, a couple years ago, I just started doing that, like for the first Palooza and then now this Palooza, because I wasn't as afraid to tell my husband, listen, I'm just gonna go, even though I didn't hit 4K yet, even though I know that I spend a lot of time at my job, even though some days I can't do a whole lot, but that just gives me even more fire to actually do more so that I can enjoy those moments, with my community, and enjoy those moments when I hit 4K like I just did for the first time. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that, but I'm also really just grateful for this team all together, because this team is such a blessing. Every It just seems like every day Katie pours into us, and not only that, but I get messages from just my teammates, you know what I mean, just like, hey, how are you doing, what's up, and I believe in you. And it's really nice. I've never been on a team like that before, especially with all women. And what you were talking about when you were there, Amber, is about the age thing. I mean, I'm 46 and I feel the same way. So like when we were out, I think, I can't remember if one person kind of like said, "Oh, are you the mom?" or something like that, like to me. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. But I guess I could be. But, and I was like, one thing that I took away from it is, you know, I don't feel any older or younger. Like I felt like I was part of the team, like part of the friendship, part of the community. And that was really nice because this team is just really genuine and loving, and it's a blessing to me. So that is a couple of things that I took away. The reason why I joined Thrive was because I wanted a sense of community, and I wanted to get free vacations. That's really what it was. So that was my reason for joining, and it still is a really good reason for joining. Now I just want to help people experience what I'm experiencing. And another thing I took away from Palooza is, you know, if I want it, then how many other people want it? You know what I mean? And how many other people want it that don't realize that they want it? So, I don't know. I just think that that was really important. And Jara Bean, I know that a couple people talked about her. I wrote down something that she had said. She said it a few times, and that is her secret sauce is don't quit. You know what I mean? So she kept saying it, just don't quit. And it's funny because lots of times, almost daily, you know, you have moments where you're just like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like maybe I should just, you know, do something else, or maybe I should just do this. At least with me, it's not just, you know, every other month or so that I might feel that way. It's every day that you have ups and downs, you know? So what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I'm just like intrigued. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, it's just, to me, it's like every day, you know, you just have to like tell yourself, okay, keep going, because not every single day is going to be like a completely perfect day. So, yeah, and the men's panel, I went to that, and that was really good. And what I found out was they're just like women, you know what I mean? They, you know, we're a slightly different, but really in the end, they want to know about Thrive too. And they have conversations just like we do, and they want to be accepted just like we do. So yeah, I mean, that was a really good panel that they had. And Jason, your husband, it was really sweet, and it just made me feel like, you know, that's awesome. That's just, you know, I'm learning from somebody that's making somebody feel that way. So that was really nice.
Oh,
So I
that
don't
makes
know.
me
I
cry
think
just
that's,
thinking about that again, because I
I
rewatched
know.
I recorded him, and of course I'm crying as I'm
Yeah, yeah.
recording him. And then when we rewatched it, because he was like, I don't even know what I said. So I was like, well, I recorded you. So
Yep.
but yeah, it's emotional, and it's a reminder, like you said, like, you know, just pouring into yourself, you know, like going and doing the things, because here's the deal. Yes, you work a lot and you're gone from your family, and then you go to this thing and you're like, I'm not even 4K, blah, blah, blah. But what happened when you got back?
Yeah, I became 4K, and you know, I'm even more than that. Like, you know, it's going up, you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm not looking back. I'm not going to look back. So every time on Zooms that we have, you know, to like better ourselves and just learn more and pour into each other weekly, um one of the themes is, you know, my son is outside calling for his dad. One of the things is that we have to just keep going, just keep showing up, consistency, you know, don't quit, just do it. And even on the hard days, even when on the hard moments. And it's great because, you know, we'll pray for each other, we'll support each other, we'll, you know, reach out to each other, um even when we're struggling and having a long day. We'll just, you know, we'll do that for each other, and I really appreciate that in this team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. It's a community. And you know, somebody had said last night, they've been here, I want to say probably 8 years, maybe 9. And they had a lot of things happen over the years in their team, like some drama from their upline, and some things probably feel like Chanel feels about her original upline. Just a lot of like toxicity and things that fell apart, but they made it to Palooza, and they had said, you know, like it's their job to rebuild the fire. And I immediately thought about, you know, our community. It's like, hey, what does it take to build a fire? Well, it takes firewood, it takes logs. So we have to go build the logs, and we have to
Yeah.
go gather the logs, you know, and to me, gathering the logs is gathering people. So like for Monique, like she has this great audience is not the word I'm looking for, but your people right now are kind of what we started when we started this. We were running after tired, exhausted, worn out, stressed out moms. And that is your era right now, right? Like you are a young mom that has a lot on your plate, that is running to sports and running to appointments, and there are people that are watching you that are like, well, she's handling this. How is she handling this? I need what she has. And like the biggest thing I think I took away from all this was being bold. That reminder for me to go be bold. Ask,
You
right? Like,
out.
don't prejudge.
Are you still there?
Yes, I think you're frozen, but you can talk, and then we'll swap over to Sue. Okay, Christina, you're frozen. We can't hear you.
I'm
But
sorry, you cut out.
oh yeah, I think you're frozen. We'll come back. Sue, go ahead. Can you unmute? Well, okay, what about now?
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. So I wanted to mention about the sessions, and I knew I wanted to go to the comeback session because, like I mentioned, I was here for 5 years. I walked away for 6 months and I came back. And so I was like, I want to go to the comeback. And they had me crying in that comeback session. But the main thing that stuck with me was about the foundation. You need to have a good foundation and you need to have your priorities straight. And once you have that, you will not go anywhere. It does not matter, because the reason I walked away was a lot of my team walked away, and that can be discouraging. But it happens to all the leaders. I mean, I'm sure if you ask Amber, she's had moments in her business where half her team walked away. But did she walk away? No, because she had her priorities straight and she knew who she was. And they said, if you put, well, I don't know if you guys are all faith-based, but put self-development, for me, it's Jesus. Put Jesus first, your family second, your business third, your job fourth, however that works. If you do that, then when your team crumbles, when things go wrong, you will not walk away because you'll know who you are. And she also said about your audience. If you take care of you and you get your story straight and you know who you are, which comes with self-development, right? Faith, if you're a faith-based person, right? Praying, and getting straight with your family. If you know those things, your audience will never be confused by you stopping. If they know you, they won't be confused by you stopping. And so another thing was that I just realized that, my audience, half my audience doesn't even know, because the other companies, health and wellness, they don't even know what happened. All they know is that I, like maybe had a moment of stepping away, kind of like maybe a little bit inconsistency, but other than that, they don't know anything. So I just encourage you guys, like, if you fell away, man, like nobody, like just know yourself, nobody really knows. Just get to know who you are and really self-develop yourself. Daily commitment, decide and accept the process. I love that. Choose to be consistent with the little things, because every little thing adds up and it all matters. So how you wake up, how you go to sleep. A lot of people ask me my routine because of all my children and things. I wake up early. I'm up 5 something a.m. I go to bed late. I lay my kids around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., period. I don't do let's sleep on the couch. I don't do let's watch TV until 9 p.m. I don't do that, because I have to get my time, because that's the only time I have to work my business. And I would never do a Zoom at this time unless it was for you guys, because like literally it's crazy right now. But usually I'll do my Zooms at like 7 a.m. because at that time there's only 1 or 2 kids up, so just organizing my time and things. But yeah, being more diligent. So I just want to share about my session. That's what was my takeaway from Palooza. And again, this team is golden. I agree with everything everybody said about the inclusivity and how rank does not matter. You would never know who is what rank, because you have 200K as millionaires acting like 4Ks because they include everybody. And I've seen in other places where, the millionaires, they're just, it's just God complex, and they don't have that on this team. On this team, everybody is the same, and you would never know anybody's rank. So that's really special what we have here.
I can't unmute. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. And guys, she's building this business with her baby on her hip, pulling her hair, like all the things. And just to remember, Margie said it on the main stage about doing the dang thing. So you can be on all these Zooms and you can be soaking it up and you can be taking the notes. But if you're not doing the thing after you get off the Zooms and implementing things that you've taken away, you're not doing the dang thing. You know, like getting on the Zoom is not doing the dang thing. It is giving you more self-awareness. It is helping you to learn a little bit more, but it's not doing the dang thing. Chanel, did you have something to say?
So one thing I wanted to say, because I was actually like doing two things. I was talking to my husband while he's on his lunch and doing this and listening to both. Because when you're a mom and all the things, you kind of, you were talking about, you got to multitask, right? I just want to say, Janelle, I met her because her Thriver, we've never met before. I had said, hey, I have a room. My husband wasn't coming. We were able to bond, side sisters and all that. She's, I remember her getting into my room and she's like, you're just as chaotic as I am with all your stuff. I'm like, that's just me. Like I come on vacation. It's like a vacation for me because I'm away from my kids. My husband goes, I want a vacation too. I'm like, well, you could have came. But that was a chance for us to bond. But anyway, I just wanted to say to all these speakers, if I did get a chance to meet you this weekend and like looked at you, but like things didn't compartmentalize, I think that's the word, I'm not saying it right, but it's just because there's just so much going on that like I'll look at you, and because I think I met Sue this past weekend, but like I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, did I even say hi? It was just so much going on, and just because you're running here and there. But everybody that has spoken today, I loved everything that everybody spoke about because it was a piece of you that you took, and it's all a different perspective. So I just wanted to say that. Amber, thank you for being who you are and doing all these. But what I really wanted to say was, I've been in this business for 5 years, and I have these hard times where I have all these Zooms are scheduled, right? Everyone's doing a Zoom, this, and that. But when I was talking to Siobhan Birch yesterday, I was like, how do you do a Zoom for your team? Because I have a pretty large team too. How do you do all these Zooms with everybody scheduling this and that, but then do your own? Like, what do you talk about? Because I still have a hard time with that. I'm like, I don't want to get on the screen of a Zoom and just be the only one talking, right? So now I want to start being able to do that with my team because, yeah, these huddles are great with all of everybody like this, but you have to have that time where you just talk to your team, whether it's one-on-one with a person or entirely. Make yourself get on a Zoom. As a leader, it doesn't matter what rank you are, get on a Zoom with your team once a week. If not everybody can join, that's okay. Maybe record it if they can't. That's being able to, again, find the time to do that. But get yourself on a Zoom with your team every once a week or every couple weeks to be able to have that small Palooza community, just not at Palooza, but in those Zooms, whether we're in different states because we're all in different places. But get a team Zoom going. And if everybody can't show up, again, that's okay. But to be able to have that, because the more glue we bounce off of each other and stick more and more, that's important. And again, thank you for these Zooms, Amber. It's really appreciated. But I just want to say, yes, the one big thing that I took away from Palooza, among everything else, is get on those Zooms. Because they matter. Even if it's one person shows up, another person shows up, they're still investing in their business. They want to hear what you have to say. You might be the glue that sticks everybody together, whether it be your team or you can have a side sister join, have a guest speaker. Those things matter. So I just wanted to say, throw that out there.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. And I'll end with this. I'm going to shout out on that topic, shout out Janelle, because she's she's Jason's personally enrolled, but she's mine. And so she is always doing that, right? Like she's still gathering her firewood. She's finding those sparks. Like it's happening, it's coming. But she hosts the huddle Zooms. She lets her team know, and not everybody can get on. And I think sometimes it's her and one other, and but it's going to grow. And then I think that same, concept is like, yeah, like let your team know, like, hey, when is good for you? When is, and that is something else is while I'll point this out, Janelle, while maybe not everybody joins on the Zooms and the huddles, y'all are really good about meeting up in person, and you've got community and that. And so it just continuing to grow that throughout. Guys, like don't be hurt or upset if not people can't make it on, right? If they can't come or they can't make it on, keep doing them because they will grow. The rubbing the shoulders is like rubbing the sticks and the flame will start, right? It will happen, coming together. So thank you. I don't want to keep everybody. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. So good. I will say, there is, and you'll see more coming over the next couple of days. Maria is starting a group, similar to a boot camp, where we're going to be, sharing. Certain leaders have got together. We are going to be sharing daily what to do, how to run the business, how to get restarted, that just as a community. And I'm so dang excited for it. So spread the word and we'll get you in the groups. All right. Bye, y'all.